And welcome back to game number 2 here at Clothier Field as Swarthmore takes on Muhlenberg. Swarthmore a winner in game 1 by a score of 5-1. On the mound is the ace for Swarthmore, Megazwala. And leading off with a base hit is Sarah Karmazin, who had 2 hits in the first game. Kaya Mayhe now, the shortstop, comes to the plate as we're just getting these lineups here, so you'll have to excuse us. Oswala has had a big year, leads the Centennial Conference in just about every statistic. She's 7-1 with a 1.32 ERA. There's a strike, 3-1 to count. For Swarthmore, Cassidy Chung behind the plate, Emily Bertrand at first, Laura Harai at second, Alex Simon at third. Gwen Glatz, the winning pitcher in game 1, is at third. Maya Strayer in left field, as that ball's foul. Sam Hastings in center, and Olivia McClammy in right. Foul ball, counts 3-2. And that is ball 4, so Oswala, who has been virtually unhittable, gotten off to a rough start here. Rhea Coons now to the plate. She did not play in the first game. Sacrifice there. Oswala makes the play, 1-4, but a successful sacrifice. Moving runners to second and third with 1 out. Jenna Cicchetti now, who started game 1 at catcher, went to first base in the 5th inning and played the whole game. Cicchetti is batting an even .300 on the season, and that ground ball will get through for a base hit. 1 run will score on the RBI single by Cicchetti, and she now goes to second, trying to get in the run down. She's tagged out. But the second runner scores as Mayhe comes across. So give Cicchetti an RBI single, and then Mayhe advances on the throw. And all of a sudden, it is 2-0 Muhlenberg. That'll bring up Samantha Weingard. Weingard did not play in the first game. Pop, and right there, catch it is Bertrand for the third out. But some first inning damage. 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 left on base. So it Muhlenberg 2, and Swarthmore coming to bat. And the pitcher will be Rhea Coons, the softball from Middleburg, Pennsylvania. Coons is 3-3 on the season. This is her 11th game, her 8th start. She has a 5.60 ERA. And it'll be Maya Esther leading things off. And that ball will drop in for a base hit as Estrella continues her hot hitting. And she'll go to second. Harai bunts it foul. Just foul by a diving Cicchetti at first base. One and two to Harai. Pop up, out of play. Harai hitting .367 on the season. Outside, ball 2. This is the 17th game for the 14-2 Garnet, and Harai has started each of them. That's high, ball 3, counts full. Harai has scored 17 runs this season. And that hit her, even though the count was full anyway. So Gwen Glatz, who was 3 for 3 in the first game, had a big RBI double. And, oh, by the way, she was the winning pitcher as well. Playing third base now. There's a strike. George Brim, the umpire behind the plate. Diane Carden on the bases. Here for game 2. Nice block that time by Calabrese. Counts now 1-1 to Glatz. Besides being 3 for 3 in that first game, Glatz also walked, so she was on base all 4 times. That's high. There's a long shot to deep left field, way back, and that's in. 1 run's going to score, and right behind is Harai. She will score on the 2-run double by Gwen Glatz that ties things up here in the first inning. Still nobody out. And for Glatz, RBI number 19 and 20 on the season. And we have a whole new ball game at 2-2. Olivia McClammy takes the first pitch for a strike. McClammy also making her 17th start. Out of play. McClammy, Glatz, and Harai are the 3 sophomore players who have now started each of the 17 games for the Garnet. Oh, that hits the pitcher, Coons, over to first. And they're going to see how she is right now. And I believe, McClammy was safe on that play too, but Coons looks like she's in some pain. Well, we talked about in game 1 the unbelievable bat speed of McClammy. We know about the power. She entered the day leading the Centennial Conference with 5 home runs. She was tied for the Centennial Conference lead with 25 RBI. And Coons really took a shot there. I mean, just the fact that she had the wherewithal to retrieve the ball and attempt to throw out the first shows her competitive spirit. She's now moving her legs, seeing how things feel. In 10 games this year, she has pitched 30 innings, has walked 16, struck out 25, and she's going to be replaced by freshman Justine Bergauer, who pitched in the first game. So Bergauer comes into a tough situation here. And we just hope that Coons is all right. That was just quite a shot. In the first game, Bergauer pitched 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 1, and struck out 1. She was not involved in the decision. This season she is 3-1. Runner McClammy going to second. She'll make it easily. So Emily Bertrand, the 5th batter in this inning. Muhlenberg has yet to get an out. And that hits her. So that'll load the bases. There's a ground ball base hit. 1 run in. 2 runs are coming in on the 2-run single by Alex Simon. So Simon with RBIs number 13 and 14 on the season. And that brings up Brooke Canini, the designated player. Well, this one they didn't give us a whole lot of time to settle in. Muhlenberg with 2 runs in the top of the inning. Swarthmore with 4 here in the bottom. And still nobody out. Canini hitting .360. Whiffs on that one. Snap throw that time by Calabrese. But that is the first out. Sam Hastings comes to the plate, the center fielder, hitting .261. But I'll tell you about Hastings. She can get up and go with the best of them. Just an outstanding defensive center fielder. There's strike one as Justine Bergauer is starting to get a little bit of rhythm here. That ball's foul with plenty of topspin on it. And Bergauer ahead in the count 0-2. Catcher Cassidy Chung, the number 9 hitter in the order on deck. That's out of the strike zone. I really like how Calabrese back there, the catcher, has really handled things well. Ava, the freshman from Summit, New Jersey. Again, we saw her for a couple innings come in and catch in the first game, but what a catching duo that is with Cicchetti and Calabrese. That's low. Alex Simon, the runner at first. Emily Bertrand at second. 1 out. Bottom of the first. 4-2 Swarthmore. Pulls the string and gets a second straight K. And that'll bring up Cassidy Chung, making her 9th start of the season. Out of play. Has 4 hits, has also scored 5 runs. Just in there for strike 2. Jammed her. Karmazin went for it. Karmazin, besides being one of the team's chief offensive threats, she's really given the Mules outstanding defense at third base as well. Chung stayed alive on a very tough pitch there. Chung, a junior from Danville, California. And the games we've seen her, we've been very, very impressed with her D behind the plate. Loops it in, and that's a base hit. That will drop. Bertrand scores the 5th run, and it is 5-2 on the RBI single by Cassidy Chung. And for Cassidy, that is her first RBI of the season. And that'll bring up Maya Estrella, who started things off here in the first with a single and came around to score. Liner to short, or a ground ball to short that time, but Mayhe gets it for the out. But plenty of damage, 5 runs, 4 hits. In an eventful first inning, after 1, it is the Garnet 5 and Muhlenberg 2. Well, we've barely been able to catch our breath here with all that's going on. And, of course, Rhea Coons got hit by that ball out of the game. We certainly hope for the best of her. By the way, Mega Zwara, the reigning Centennial Conference Pitcher of the Week. In fact, she was named it 2 weeks running, and as we said, she's been dominating. That's why that first inning kind of a little bit surprising. Ava Calabrese to lead things off. Calabrese has only had 20 at-bats this season, but she has 5 hits, hitting .250. Couldn't quite catch up on that one. Fouls it out of play. Jillian Zach on deck. Was that fair? Glatz throws it over the first, and it was. A little hesitation there. Jillian Zach, the center fielder. Just as we said about Hastings, Zach's the same way. What a defensive player she is. That's high for ball one. That ball is foul. Pretty close there. Again, foul. Well, one thing you're seeing by Muhlenberg, even though it's been tough going so far, losing the opener 5-1 and now trailing 5-2, that's a very active dugout there. Pop out of play. Zach batting .219 on the season. Actually boosted her average by 8 points after going 1 for 3 in the first game. Jammed her, and again, stayed alive. Zach's a sophomore from Colts Neck, New Jersey. Played for St. John Vianney. High. Ozawa hasn't had her typical control. Coming into the game, in 37 innings, she had struck out 54 and walked 13. And Bertrand makes the backhanded stab for out number 2. Cora Bridges now. Of course, Bridges was the starting pitcher and actually was tagged with the loss in game number 1. Pitched 4 innings and then went to second base. Bridges, a senior from Hamilton, New Jersey, takes a strike 2. Hamilton, New Jersey, Steinert High School. Out of play. Oswald leads the Centennial Conference in just about every significant statistic. Backhand stab by Glatz. What a play and a nice dig out of the dirt by Bertrand. So no runs, no hits. And nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second inning, and it's 5-2 Swarthmore. You know, now that we're in the Centennial Conference play, and we mentioned Swarthmore 3-0, open play up with a doubleheader win on Saturday over F&M. And then, of course, the opening game victory here against Muhlenberg. The Mules, meanwhile, 8-11 on the season, 1-2 in the Centennial Conference. So it'll be the heart of the order up for the Garnets. Laura Harai, Gwen Glatz, and Olivia McClammy. Harai takes that for a strike. She was hit by a pitch her first time up and came around and scored. Ooh, that's way out of the strike zone. Lays a bunt down there. Karma's in with the throw, but again, covering it was Bridges. Wasn't able to hold on to it. And Harai goes to second. So that was scored, a base hit. And here comes the hot-hitting Gwen Glatz. Glatz had a 2-run double her first time up, and she had a 2-run double in the first game to aid her cause on the mound. She's now raised her average to .490. And there's a shot for a base hit. Harai rounding third, and she's going to score the 6th run. Glatz goes to second on the throw and is now 6-2 Swarthmore. Gwen Glatz for the day now has been on base all 6 times she has batted. She was 3 for 3 with a walk in the first game and is now 2 for 2 with 3 RBI here in game number 2. Olivia McClammy, who had that infield hit that went off the pitcher Coons and literally knocked Coons out of the game. Coons had to leave the game. And again, we hope she is all right. What a competitor, though. She, even though she was hit by the pitch in the leg, picked up the ball, threw it to first, and almost got McClammy out. McClammy looking to bunt that time. You don't see that often for somebody with 5 home runs and the power that she has. Obviously going for the element of surprise there. That ball had some wild movement on that. Bergara, I'll tell you, she's got a live arm. You have to think that this freshman has a bright future for Muhlenberg. Again outside, and this is how Muhlenberg has been pitching McClammy really all day. McClammy entered the game hitting .460, and she's done that many times. Gotten just ahead of a ball and pulled it way foul, but hitting it very sharply. She's now hitting .470 and hits another one back to the mound. But making the play is Bergara. That's 2 hard hit balls to the mound. Glatz advances to third. Emily Bertrand now at the plate. She singled and came around and scored or she was hit by a pitch and came around and scored in the first inning, out of play. So Swarthmore has already exceeded its first game output, and we're just here in the second inning. Gets a piece of a good outside pitch that time. Emily's batting .415. Again, hits that outside pitch foul. Count remains 0-2. Bertrand with 12 RBI. The run scored was her 4th of the season. Ground ball. Nice play by Karmazin as she looked the runner back, looked Glatz back, and made the throw. Well, we told you about Karmazin's D. And that was just an example of it. Alex Simon had a 2-run single her first time up. Simon is now 14 RBI. Boy, a lot of people with double-figure RBI on this Swarthmore team. Sort of like a cue shot there, foul. With that hit, she boosted her average now to 367. Low and a very nice block by Calabrese. We said it. The catchers we've seen today have been very impressive defensively. Muhlenberg thought they had a strike there. Two and one. And that was a strike on the inside corner. Glatz, the two-out runner at third. Ground ball to Bridges over the first for the third out. But another run comes in here in the second inning, and Swarthmore has increased that lead now to 6-2 as we enter the top of the third. Well, as we get to Centennial Conference play, and we'll do this from time to time. In the preseason poll, Washington College was the preseason pick with 58 points. Gettysburg was second, even though Gettysburg got 4 first-place votes. McDaniel was third, and how about Swarthmore, without competing a year ago, fourth in the preseason, followed by Haverford, Muhlenberg, Ursinus, Franklin and Marshall, and Dickinson. Mego Zwala really settled down in that second inning. She's yet to record a strikeout. And has thrown 26 pitches so far. Sabrina Reichout, the right fielder, leads things off for Muhlenberg. There's a strike. Reichout hitting .354 on the season. Sophomore from Mohegan Lake, New York, Lakeland High School. Looks that one all the way in for a ball.
Hey, slow it down, 5. Slow it down, 5, 6. Here we go. Go, 5.
Out of play. Reichout was 0 for 3 in game number 1. Then missed by quite a bit. Ozoir has heightened expectations so much with the outstanding way she has pitched, and she hasn't been overly sharp, but just as I said that, she gets her first strikeout of the game. Sarah Karmazin at the plate. Karmazin with a base hit her first time up. Came around and scored. Recently joined the 100 hit club. She's increased her average to 379.
Come on, two. Come on, two.
In the first game, Karmazin was 2 for 4. Does such a great job from that leadoff spot. Entered the day with a 400 on base percentage. High. 2-2. As Wara's throwing is, as hard as ever. It's just she hasn't been hitting the strike zone as much. Karmazin fouled off a very tough pitch, bordering on the inside corner. Took something off of that. That might have been her best pitch of the day for strike 3. Second straight strikeout. Kaya Mahi now at the plate. She walked her first time up and ended up scoring. Strike 1. Mahi was 2 for 2 in the first game. Grounded to Glatz. Makes the throw for the third out. So Oswala has now retired 7 consecutive batters, running the bottom of the third inning, and it is 6-2 Swarthmore. One thing that has to be consideration is to get this to be an official game in 5 innings. It's kind of getting dark out. Still plenty of time to play, but remember earlier this year, Swarthmore was leading Gwinnett Mercy 17-3 after 3 innings in the second game of a doubleheader. That's a game we had broadcast here, and the game was then called. So not only did that not count on the winning record, but all the statistics also went out the window too. And as you can imagine, with 17 runs, there were plenty of them. So it'll be Brooke Canini, Sam Hastings, and Cassidy Chung, the bottom of the order here in the bottom of the third for the Garnet. Conini, the junior from Lincroft, New Jersey, Middletown South High School. You could hear that third baseman Sarah Karmazin said, "Nice pitch," and it was nice. It just was outside for ball 1. Good cut that time by Canini.
Come on, 10. Come on, 10.
Canini saw action in the first game. She was a pinch hitter for Harai, went 0 for 1, and then Harai re-entered the game. Justine Bergara came in the first inning. Oh, beautiful job by Karmazin there.
Nice job.
What an outstanding two-way player she is for the first out. You can see why Sarah made first team all-conference last season. Outstanding two-way player. Sam Hastings now at the plate. She struck out her first time up. Bergara just missed on that first pitch. Right on the inside corner, strike one. Strike two. She's got tremendous movement, and it's late movement too. It's very hard for the hitters to pick up. Nah, that's outside. 2-2. Even though Muhlenberg's down 6-2, lost the first game, the Mules bench has been very active. The players are into it, just showing a lot of spirit. Out in front of that one, pulls it way foul. Foul again. Hastings has started all but one game this season. She's appeared in all of them. Has 12 hits, 3 extra base hits, all doubles. Way outside. Count's now full. I'll tell you, I really like how Calabrese back there goes for the ball. Has really good footwork behind the plate. That ball was way outside. She made it look easy just getting it. Even though no one's on base, you like to see catchers show that kind of defense. And there's ball 4. Cassidy Chung had an RBI single her first time up. As we mentioned, that was her first RBI of the season. So Hastings the runner at first. And Calabrese, the catcher, thinking that Hastings may have some activity on the base path, almost threw it to first. Hastings was leaning a little bit. at hitter. That's the second hit by pitch by Muhlenberg pitchers. And there'll be a confab on the mound, and that'll bring up Maya Estrella. As we mentioned, there's a full slate of games in the Centennial Conference today, but Estrella entered the day leading the conference with a .514 average. Estrella 1 for 2 with a run scored today. Grounder to Mayhe, and it goes through. They're arguing that it hit the foot of the runner. So that was ruled an error. E6, and now the bases are loaded with one out, and Laura Harai's up. Harai was hit by a pitch and singled, and she has scored 2 runs. There's a shot to center field. Making the catch that time was Zach. But scoring is Hastings on the sacrifice fly. That was a deep play. And again, Zach got a great jump on it. It's now 7-2 on the sacrifice fly by Laura Harai. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Gwen Glatz, probably the one player that Muhlenberg doesn't want to face in this situation, and that's way outside. Good job again by Calabrese back there. That was a tough pitch to handle. She made it look easy. Inside for a ball. Her teammates saying good pitch, and it was. It just missed. Three and 0. I'll tell you what, the way Glatz is swinging the bat, we'll see if Melissa Finley gives her the green light here. It looked like she was taking all the way for ball 4. So the bases are loaded for the dangerous Olivia McClammy. McClammy 1 for 2 with a base hit and a run scored. She's now hitting .461. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. Here, bottom of the third, Swarthmore leading Muhlenberg 7-2. And that's right down the middle for a strike. Muhlenberg really talking it up here, encouraging Bergara. There's a foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Calabrese again. You know, some catchers will try to just put their arm in there and stab the ball, but she moves her feet, gets her body in front of it, does a great job. There she goes again. Most of the day, McClammy has been pitched to the outside corner, and she hasn't seen a whole lot of strikes. And it goes inside corner, but the bases loaded walk will score the 8th run. So 26th RBI of the season for McClammy. Bertrand pop up, and that's put away by Cicchetti. But more damage, a couple more runs here, as through 3 it is Swarthmore 8 and Muhlenberg 2. Megaswala, who we said kind of started out a little slow, at least for her. And again, the standards for her are so high, but she's really done a good job recently. Has retired 7 straight batters. Kind of getting her rhythm there. In 3 innings, she's allowed 2 runs, both earns, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And has thrown 40 pitches. So it'll be Justine Bergara, Cicchetti, and Weingart here in the top of the 4th inning for the Mules. Bergara has 3 hits on the season. Grounder right to his wall. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jenna Cicchetti now at the plate. The senior from Long Hill, New Jersey. Now that's way outside. Good stop there by Chung. We talk about Chung's defense. It's been outstanding as well. And of course, she had a big RBI single here today. Two 2-0. Cicchetti had an RBI base hit in the first inning. There's a strike. Cicchetti making her 19th straight start this year. That was only her third RBI of the season. Couldn't catch up to that one. Way out of the strike zone for strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Megazwala. Sam Weingart at the plate. She popped up to Bertrand at first base, her first time up. Pop up, and Glatz and Chung couldn't quite get to it. Weingart entered the game with just 6 at-bats this season. Out of play. I'll tell you what, Oswald has been missing the strike zone a little bit, but it's hard to get around on that kind of heat. That one was out of the strike zone. Weingart able to get a piece of it. But Meg has certainly settled down after a rough first inning. There it is again. High pitch out of the strike zone, but again, with so much movement on it, it's hard to pass up on a pitch like that. 0-2 the count. Outside. Oswald has pitched 3 complete games on the year. In a lot of the non-conference games, it's common for teams' aces maybe not always to go all the way, but once the Centennial Conference games, and they are here now, you'll probably be seeing more complete games. There's a shot to left field. Foul. Weingart got all of that, but pulled it foul. How many players from both teams have done that today where they've really gotten a good piece of the ball, but it's gone way foul? Count stays at 1-2. Outside. Oswald, the lone left-hander on the team, took something off of that. May gets it over the first for the out. We've seen a couple times today she's really helped herself with the way she's fielded a position. And Meg has now retired 10 consecutive batters and has really hit her groove. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's Swarthmore 8 and Muhlenberg 2. Coming into the game, Swarthmore was the leading team in the Centennial Conference in ERA, and by a considerable margin. The Garnet had a 2.40 team ERA. Number 2, Franklin and Marshall, was all the way at 3.96. So Swarthmore has gotten excellent pitching, tremendous defense, and the offense has been better than timely. It's been outstanding, and again, that's why the Garnet are 14-2 on the year, 13 victories in a row. Alex Simon leads things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 8-2 Swarthmore. Justine Bergara is in her 4th inning of action. Remember, she came into the game, and she throws a strike there. She came into the game, nobody out in the 1st inning as the first 4 batters reached base, and McClammy's line drive knocked Coombs out of the game. Grounder, that's a base hit in the hole. Brooke Canini, who's 0 for 2. Snap throw by Calabrese to first that time. Simon got back, but that gives you an example, doesn't it, of the arm of the freshman catcher? Canini's showing bunt. Let's see if she pulls it back, and she does. I think after that snap throw that Simon, the runner at first, not taking as big a lead off after each pitch. Pop up. Mayhe makes the catch for the first out. I'll tell you, with Mayhe at short and Karma's in at third, that's an impressive left side of the infield. Sam Hastings now 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a nice pitch, kind of jammed Hastings on the inside corner. Sam 0 for 1, but with a walk and a run scored. That's outside, snap throw again. A good job by Cicchetti that time. Of course, Cicchetti's used to that from playing so much catcher. There's a strike. Strike 2, 1-2. And a called third strike. That is the third strikeout for Justine Bergara. And that brings up Cassidy Chung, who's been on base both times today. There's strike one. RBI single in the 5-run first inning. Also was hit by a pitch in the third and came around and scored. Wow, that just missed. 1-1. Diane Carden on the bases. George Brim, the home plate umpire here. That ball will drop in center. No! Nice catch by Zach. Now, I shouldn't be premature. When a ball goes out there, she really gets a great jump on it and makes the catch for the third out. So no runs, a hit, and one left on base. We now go to the top of the fifth inning as Swarthmore is leading by an 8-2 score. Well, we said it, Megazwar had a little tough time in the beginning, especially in that first inning when she allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. But since then, she has really settled down. Against Franklin and Marshall, she went 5 innings for the victory. In her last outing, Swarthmore won the game 10-0 in a 5-inning game. She allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 6. And she's had so many outings like that this season. 7-1 on the year. Ava Calabrese leads things off here in inning number 5. Couldn't catch up with that one for strike 1. Oswara did not have a strikeout in the first 2 innings. She's had 3 over the last 2. Wow, pulled the string there that time for a strike. And she's ahead of Calabrese, 0-2. That one came right back at us. Calabrese did a good job to foul that ball off because not only did it have some serious velocity to it, but it was up around the fists, and she was able to get just enough to stay alive here. That was way out of the strike zone, 1-2. I'll tell you what, if you're Swarthmore with the 1-2 pitching duo of Gwen Glatz and Megazwala, you kind of have to like your chances in a lot of these upcoming Centennial Conference doubleheaders. That's outside. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. Swarthmore next scheduled to play Thursday at Cabrini, although we told you about today's weather forecast. It's a lot dicier even Thursday, so we'll see how that goes. Off the fists again, and I'll tell you, the freshman Ava Calabrese is doing a nice job staying alive in this at-bat. Sometimes you want to get that strikeout so badly you overthrow the ball. That's what happened on that one. And the count's now full to Ava Calabrese. Very impressive looking freshman catcher. Ball 4. So Calabrese is a leadoff base runner. Looks like they're going to get a pinch runner in here. So number 22, Jane Banahan, is your pinch runner for Calabrese. There's a base hit, and it's going to be extra bases in the left field. Coming around is Banahan. She's going to score the second run on the RBI double by Jillian Zach. And it is now 8-3 Swarthmore. Seventh RBI of the season for Zach. The strike 1 to Cora Bridges. Still nobody out. 1 run in the 5th. Muhlenberg cuts Swarthmore's lead to 8-3. Strike 2. Cora Bridges grounded out. To Glatz at third base, her first time up. That's high. Ball 1. Low. Nice stab by Chung back there. 2-2. Again, one of the things you have to give credit to Muhlenberg, they are fouling off some tough pitches. Really some tough pitches. And strike 3 for the first out. Pinch hitter, Dara DeMilo. DeMilo, a sophomore from East Hanover, New Jersey, Hanover Park High School. It's only her 13th at bat of the season. That's high for a ball. But hitting .417, 5 for 12. How about this? She has 5 hits, but 6 RBI. That's up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. And rounding third with the 4th run is Zach, and it is now 8-4. So the 7th RBI of the season for DeMaio. And Reichout re-enters the game and is the runner at first base. And now the ever dangerous Sarah Karmazin. The senior third baseman is 1 for 2 with a run scored. There's a strike. This is the most runs that Megazola has given up this season. Glatz makes the play over the first for the second out. Was that? They're saying it was off her foot. Muhlenberg saying that was off the foot. The umpires disagreeing, so Kaya Mahi now at the plate. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Actually, this is the second most runs that Oswar has given up. She allowed 5 runs in a game earlier. Harai stabs it for the third out. But Muhlenberg has cut the lead in half. It is now 8-4 as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. We said that Swarthmore has a game or a doubleheader against Cabrini on Thursday, weather permitting, and then we'll be back here on Saturday as a doubleheader back to Centennial Conference action against Washington College. So Maya Estrella, 1 for 3 with a run scored. There's Karmazin. Nope, the throw pulls off. Even if she made a good throw, I don't know if she would have gotten it. That has scored an infield base hit for Estrella. Laura Harai has had a big game here. She's 1 for 1 with a single, 2 runs scored, was hit by a pitch, and has an RBI on a sacrifice fly in her last at bat. That ball just missed. I think Bergauer a little visibly upset at that. She thought she had that pitch. That's a foul. See, Harai has scored 2 runs today and now has 19 on the season. That ball's foul. Bottom of the 5th inning, Swarthmore leading 8-4. 4-5-0 for Muhlenberg, 8-7-1 for Swarthmore. That's high. Counts full. Estrella, a very good runner at first base. Ball 4. Gwen Glatz, who is, again, as we're going to get a pitching change, it looks like. So for Muhlenberg, Sarah Rabb comes into the game. Senior from Wilmington, Delaware, Concord High School. This is her 6th appearance of the season. 0-1 on the year. It's weird, even though it's her 6th appearance, she's only pitched 3 innings, 8 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yeoman work by Justine Bergauer because she had to pitch both games today. And Bergauer threw 86 pitches. Of course, her line isn't complete with two runners on base. Gwen Glatz, 2 for 2 with a walk, a 2-run double, and an RBI single. There's a strike. Tough situation for Rabb to come in, not only with runners at first and second, but facing Swarthmore's hottest hitter. That's outside. The problem if you're an opponent is, how do you pitch Glatz? She's shown she can hit the inside pitch. You try to go outside, she'll hit that. That's high, 2-1. The other thing about Swarthmore, Garnet do a great job of working the pitcher. They rarely swing at bad pitches. A lot of discipline. And now it's 3-1. Then you got the cleanup hitter, Olivia McClammy, up on deck. a shot to right center field, and making the catch is Reichelt. Runners will advance. I said runners, plural. One runner advanced. Estrella goes to third. So that was the first out that Glatz made today, and I'll tell you, she crushed that ball too. Freshman Olivia McClammy now at the plate. 1 for 2 with a base hit, a run scored. And she walked with the bases loaded her last time up. Harai goes to second. Not contested on the steal. There's a strike. McClammy has found herself down in some counts here today. Rab tried to throw the heater right by her, but way out of the strike zone. Even her outs are hit hard. That time, McClammy was jammed. And she hurt her hand a little bit. She's shaking it a little bit, trying to shake it off on a chilly day. That's smart. With that bases loaded walk RBI, that was her 26th of the season. As we said, she entered the day outside for ball 2. Entered the day tied for first in the Centennial Conference with 25. Also owned the lead in home runs with 5. Not a bad freshman season so far, huh? Tell you what, that was a ball and it was out of the strike zone, but Rab's showing some good velocity here. Counts full. Runners at second and third. One down here in the bottom of the 5th. That was an excellent pitch, and McClammy doing well just to get a piece of it. McClammy has a lot of composure at the plate. That was another excellent pitch. And I'll tell you one thing, Rab is doing a good job. She's moving it in and out. She tried to get one on the outside corner, and McClammy just got a piece of it. Once again, foul. Bottom of the 5th inning, Swarthmore leading Muhlenberg 8-4. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Emily Bertrand now up. Emily 0 for 2, but was hit by a pitch and scored in that 5-run first inning. That's just out of the strike zone for ball one. Sarah Rabb, the third pitcher today for the Mules. There's a shot to center field, and making an outstanding catch is Zach. And even though a run will score on that, that's an outstanding job by Jillian Zach. Snap throw the first. Nice job by Cicchetti. Grounder to Mayhe over the first for the out. I wonder if they're going to keep playing this game. It's gotten pretty dark here. So they did call it, so that'll be it. A doubleheader sweep. So that's it. Swarthmore sweeps the doubleheader, improves to 15-2 on the season, 4-0 in the Centennial Conference, and has now won 14 games in a row. Winning pitcher is Meg Ozawa. She is 8-1 on the season. Rhea Coons is your losing pitcher. Again, we hope she's all right. She was hit by that line drive and left after 4 batters in the inning. But we hope she is all right. But I'll tell you, this Muhlenberg team dropping to 8-12 and 1-3 in the Centennial Conference. But again, showed a lot of fight and a lot of spirit. But I think Swarthmore now has swept its first 2 Centennial Conference opponents and gets ready to play a non-conference doubleheader on Thursday against Caprini, weather permitting. Well, the weather held up here. Swarthmore winning this doubleheader and, as we said, improving to 15-2 on the season. What a year it is. Winning the first game 5-1, and this one 8-4. 4-5-0 for Muhlenberg, 8-9-1 for Swarthmore. So that'll do it. We'll be back here on Saturday when Swarthmore plays a host to a doubleheader. Washington College, first game beginning at 1 o'clock. Once again, as always, thanks for tuning in. This is Mark Narducci saying have a great evening, and we'll see you next time covering the Swarthmore softball team.